Hello everyone, and welcome to FPL Mate. I've just realised I haven't got my charger in here, so give me 1 second. I'll be back in 1 second because I forgot that, and I've dropped my phone on the floor. That's fine. Right, I've got it. The charger. The charger is here. Okay, hello. I actually am here this time. Hello. I'm staying. Don't worry. How is everyone doing today? Are we looking forward to possibly this could be like the most brutal week for captaincy. It really could be very brutal. I'm going to put in a captain poll, I think, immediately to see where you guys are at. I think there's 3 main captains: Salah, Palmer, Isak, and then outside of that, you know, got Bruno and Haaland. So who is your Gameweek 21 captain? Let's put Salah, Palmer, Isak, or other. We'll see what you guys are saying. Because I'm not even set on my captain yet. We've got 2 hours until deadline. I'm not even set. I don't even know for sure. I mean, obviously my captain's armband is on a player right now. I've got grey hair. Or is that the light? Maybe I'm getting old. No, it's just the light. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not getting old yet. We're good. Yeah, I have got my captain's armband on Isak right now, but I'm definitely not set on it. Like, I don't know. I definitely could be convinced to change it. I think Isak is going to start, but of course, you never know. It looks like the poll is favouring Isak at the moment, which is strange because I've seen a lot of other polls and people have gone off Isak. Maybe there is some bias because obviously we're on the FPL Mate channel and I'm captaining Isak, so maybe there is some bias there. But in the polls I've seen, it's been very, very, very close. Very close indeed. But totally understand if people don't want to take the risk on Isak given his potential fitness issues. Definitely. Mark's in the chat. Hey Dan, how are you doing, mate? I'm doing good. Thank you very much, Mark. Hope you're doing well as well. If there's any other members in the chat, do make yourself known so I can say hello. It's got to be done. Someone whose text seems to be in, I don't even recognise that. Is that Hindi? It says possible blank game week. Well, definite blank game week. Yeah, we've got definite blank game week in Gameweek 29. And hang on, I've got my chart somewhere. Where are you? There we are. This is my latest blank and double game week calendar that I updated yesterday with the Everton-Liverpool double game week news. So we are aware of one confirmed double game week in terms of those fixtures, but we are going to have some more blanks and we are going to have some more doubles. FPL Esto's here as well. Talk FPL says, how many minutes do you see Isak getting? Feels like standout for me this week, but Salah and Palmer have a lot better minutes, but a lot harder opponents. Yeah, I'd say that, to be fair, like, there are no easy opponents this week. Let's go on the Hub Opta. If you look at the, I don't know, let's just go last 10 game weeks and order these defences by non-penalty expected goals against. We see Wolves, Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest all in the kind of top positions here. Maybe fixtures have impacted that a little bit. What's the full season data? Wolves are a lot lower for the full season data. I wonder if because of Wolves' recent fixtures. Let's have a look at Wolves' fixtures over the last 10, see if that has impacted that. Yeah, they have had very favourable fixtures. All 3 newly promoted teams have had Everton in there as well. Forest don't get a lot of XG, so you can understand why they've not conceded too many chances against a lot of these teams. West Ham in there as well. So maybe that has impacted things. We know the first 10 game weeks they were conceding loads of chances, but they have got new management as well. So I think Wolves may be slightly misleading on the last 10 game weeks data. Bournemouth have just been brilliant defensively. Let's find a Bournemouth defender who's played every week. We can have a good idea. So yeah, they have had favourable fixtures as well. They have had like Brentford, Brighton, Spurs, Man United, Palace, Fulham. They have played against some tougher attacks, but they seem to be keeping things really tight. And I think that's what puts me off Palmer a little bit. Because Bournemouth, they've only actually conceded, 2 goals against Fulham, and that's it in the last 4 game weeks. 2 goals conceded in 4, 3 and 5, 4 in 6, 4 in 7. So they conceded 4 goals in 7 game weeks, Bournemouth. That's very, very impressive. And their like defensive data is really, really nice, particularly over the last 10 game weeks. Alongside kind of Newcastle and Wolves, who have been kind of standouts there. But it's interesting. It is interesting. On form, Nottingham Forest are putting up the worst defensive numbers, but they are keeping the most clean sheets. So it's really tough. I think you would have to say that Newcastle have the best fixture, particularly as it's a home fixture as well. Mark Kagan with a super chat says 2 free transfers. João Pedro to Cunha. The strategy is assistant manager 24 to 26, free hit 33, wildcard 35. I don't know if I love Cunha's fixtures, to be totally honest with you. Newcastle away is just a bad jumping on point. I think let's try and find the clean sheet odds. Did Rob T post them? The clean sheet projections. So let's see. Here we go. Let's have a look at this. Let's open in a new tab. That's useful. So we can see here that Newcastle have some of the better clean sheet odds this week. 36%. And Wolves projected 1 goal, pretty much. And I think Cunha is not fully fit either. Like he'll play. I think he'll play, but I don't think he's 100% fit. Like you could say the same thing about Isak, to be fair. But yeah, I don't know if I love the fixtures. We've got Newcastle away, Chelsea away, Arsenal at home, Villa at home, Liverpool away, Bournemouth away, Fulham at home, Everton at home. There's not one good fixture. And I know we say Acuna can, he produces moments of magic and does it against anyone. But his fixtures don't get good until game week 29. I think that would be a really nice hopping on point for Cunha. If you're looking for a new striker around this time, I think Cunha has definitely got to be in that conversation. But for now, I don't know. Fixtures play here. So I'm not massively keen. Not massively keen. Murphy is available. Murphy is in a similar situation to Isak. There's no serious issue. And actually, I like the tactical matchup because Wolves do concede a lot of chances from that side. So the right side of Newcastle and the left side, the Ait-Nouri side of Wolves. Because obviously Ait-Nouri bombing forward and there's going to be some opportunities for Murphy. So I do like, if you can't afford Gordon, I do quite like Murphy as a pick. But I think in general, the top 3 Newcastle assets are certainly going to be Isak, Gordon, Hull. So ideally you have those 3. G'day FPL addicts. Welcome, welcome. Mark says, thoughts on Semenyo to Gordon and Aina to Castagna from -4. Already have Bruno. Can you afford just to do Semenyo to Gordon? Even that, I don't know if I love. Because we think Semenyo is probably going to play as striker because Evan Nilsson and Enes Unal are both unavailable. So Semenyo could be playing as a striker against Chelsea this week. And the fixtures aren't great for Semenyo. Generally, where are you, Semenyo? Let's find you. Chelsea away, Newcastle away, Forest, Liverpool. But I don't know if he justifies a -4 to sell. A few people asking about Jesus to Mateta. Don't mind it. I really don't mind it at all. Could be a really interesting shout. Just be aware that we could see a Crystal Palace blank in game week 29 if Newcastle get it over the line. So it against Arsenal in the League Cup, I mean. So Yeah, I mean, maybe that needs to be factored in to a degree. I think it's more about how many other Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Liverpool, Aston Villa players you have. If you're pretty light on those teams anyway, then I see no problem. If you don't have Sarr, for example, I'd definitely like to be involved in the Crystal Palace attack ahead of their next fixtures. What is it? Leicester, West Ham. I can't remember who they play after that. Let's remind myself. Where are you, Mateta? Yeah, Leicester, West Ham, Brentford, Man United, Everton, even Fulham, Villa, Ipswich, Newcastle away, but then Southampton away, Brighton at home. There's not that many bad fixtures here. There's more good fixtures than bad fixtures. I think Crystal Palace have a really nice run. So I like Mateta generally as a buy. Potential penalty share there as well. Yeah, Mateta could be really interesting. Those asking about wildcard, if your team is in a really, really bad shape, then sure. But if it's just like, oh, I have Sarr and he's not scored points recently. I have Jackson, he's not scored points recently. Like, these are perfectly fine FPL picks. So I don't think that these kind of players are worth wildcarding. But if you have, like, I don't know, Gabriel Jesus, maybe you have, I don't know who else would be considered a bad pick that is popular, to be fair. If you have Evan Nilsson as well in your team, maybe. You have a few injured players. And a few players that you just really, really don't like. Maybe your defense is a mess and you want to get the likes of Hall in your team. Maybe a Liverpool defender. Then maybe some more Crystal Palace. Then fine. But if you're sitting on players like Robinson, Munoz, Jackson, even like Enzo, and like your team is not in a mess, you just happen to have players who haven't scored points recently, players who are perfectly fine FPL assets, then I wouldn't be wildcarding. I don't think it's worth it. Particularly when we consider kind of chip strategy moving forward. The wildcard is going to be really, really valuable. I'm eyeing up, really, the game week 30 is a potential wildcard time, or game week 35. 30 or 35, probably going to be the two main wildcard times, and that's going to really benefit you in your chip strategy as well. So that's certainly something I would consider before pulling the trigger. How bad is your team actually? Is it actually that bad? Or do you just have a few players who are putting up perfectly good data, playing reasonably well with good fixtures, but just so happen to have not scored points recently, you know? Have you done a team news video this week? No, I haven't actually. No, I don't. You know what? I don't know what I'm going to do with those videos because I don't enjoy making them at all. And I don't know if people actually watch the second half of the video, so I might change that a little bit. Because those videos actually take a long time to make. So I'm wondering if I can kind of trim it down. And they're the worst performing videos each week. So I haven't done it this week. I'm trying to think. I'm always trying to adapt my content a little bit to make it more fun for me to make, but also more valuable for you guys. I'm going to refine my process, make sure I don't get burnt out or anything. But yeah, that video series will probably be back for Game Week 22, but maybe changed a little bit. Bench list today. Yeah, we'll be doing a bench list today. You think we'll get any team leaks? I think there's a strong possibility. Quite a few vids like it at the same time. Yeah, I know. It used to be unique, but as the FPL content space evolves, sometimes, I don't know, certain videos lose their magic in a way. So we have to think of new ideas. But that's fine. That's fine. Buy, sell, keep, avoid are my faves. Yeah, that's definitely the best video, I think, on the channel at the moment. Which is it seems to be doing really well. You guys are liking it. You guys are liking the new changes. I can't believe when we first made the changes to buy, sell, keep, avoid, maybe at the beginning of the season, a lot of people really didn't like it. People really didn't like the buy, sell, keep, avoid changes. But now people seem to love it. So I'm so glad people have come around, because I was really, even though there was some negative feedback on the new buy, sell, keep, avoid format, I was really confident that it was better. And I knew people would come around, and I'm so glad they have. Ollie Phillips with the super chat says, "Hi Dan, do I need to get rid of Watkins? I can't get rid of more than one player without a hit. I have Isak. and Raul up front already. Yeah, it's interesting because I think Watkins has a very good chance of a benching this week. A very good chance. So I don't know exactly what to recommend there. The problem is there's no great replacements. I like Chris Wood from next game week, really. Who have you got on your bench? Have you got anyone on your bench? Have you got like a Rodgers or someone like that to cover? Or an Enzo? Something like that? Ahmad? Probably starting Ahmad anyway, to be fair. But yeah, certainly if you've got some bench cover, I would maybe wait one more week and then move Watkins to Wood. Or you could just do the Watkins to Wood transfer this week if you wanted to. There's definitely potential there. Oscar says, would you rate Bruno as a captain? I think if I had Bruno in my team, he would definitely be a consideration. Would I go for Bruno if I had him? You know what? I think I would. I think there's a very good chance that if I had Bruno Fernandes in my FPL team, I would captain him. So if you want to go for it, I rate it. I do rate it. Who should I start between Iwobi and Rodgers? I think it's got to be Rodgers. We'll do the bench list soon. When will you triple captain? I already triple captained, unfortunately. But if I still had the triple captain chip, I would use it on Salah in Game Week 24. Raya and Emerson to Henderson and Munoz. No, that seems overkill, man. That is over. We probably don't want to double up on Crystal Palace defense. They're not quite good enough. Mark says Bruno captain is appealing. I can't lie, but certainly preparing for failure. It's difficult to trust Manchester United, but I think they'll be coming into this game week with confidence. After that FA Cup victory against Arsenal, they'll be coming in with a lot of confidence. Iwobi to Ahmad for a hit. No, I wouldn't take a hit. No. Kabalash says, Dan, why don't you transfer out Jesus to get and die for the Everton double? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, he's a striker in FPL, a forward in FPL, but he doesn't even play as a forward for a start. His numbers aren't, like, horrendous, though. I'll show you. He's actually, if you're looking for Everton players, his data is actually pretty darn good. So, let's go past, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 game weeks. And Dye is sitting here at 0.2 expected goal involvements per game. But it's like good for Everton standards, but in general, like, I don't know. This does not fill me with joy at all. Less than a shot per game. Less than a key pass per game. I don't think it's good enough for me. I don't think it's quite good enough. Start Gabriel or Wissa? I think I would back the attacker. If you guys want to get Ndai in, then fair enough, but I'm not quite convinced yet. I think it's a little early to be going in there. Plus, like, Aston Villa, is that like the best jumping on point? If they played Southampton this week or something like that, or Leicester, then I'd be thinking maybe. But, you know, Ndai's goal share at Everton is like, what? Actually, we can find out for sure. Or his goal involvement share. Or percentage XGI is 28%. So he's involved in 1 in 3, 1 in 4 Everton goals. And that's involved, full stop. So what are we thinking? We're thinking Everton need to score 3 or 4 goals before he's getting a goal involvement. Not really good enough for me. Not really good enough for me. Do you think I should get Haaland? If you can afford it, then you could do. Yeah, you certainly could do. I don't hate it. Dan, it's Spurs next week. For who? Everton? Is it Everton Spurs next week? Oh, it is, yeah. It is, yeah. True. But still, I don't know, man. Let's have a look at the Everton fixtures, actually. The Villa, Spurs, Brighton, Leicester. Like, it's not the worst fixtures, but, like, come on. How many goals are we actually expecting Everton to score? And of those goals, if Ndiaye is involved in 1 in 4, 1 in 3, 1 in 4, is it good enough? Even the double game week, like Leicester and Liverpool. Liverpool's not a good fixture. Leicester at home is. Would you go Ødegaard to Bruno Fernandes? I think I would, yep. Yep, if you can do that for free, I think I would make that move. Kabalash says, to be honest, Dan, there aren't a lot of forwards. Yeah. No, I mean, no, there aren't a lot of forwards to choose from. There isn't. But that just makes me think, like, whoever you're selling, is it worth it? Other than Gabriel Jesus, who's obviously injured. Like, it's a barren place. We've spoken about it a fair amount this week, really. But I don't mind talking about it a bit more. The forward market is just not good. Even the forwards who look reasonably good have bad fixtures. It's just Isak. I don't know, man. Like, where do you go? Isak is standout. Watkins, numbers boosted by penalties. Like, if we just remove low minutes players, Watkins isn't even going to be on this list. Then you got Haaland, who is super expensive. Havertz, who we just don't trust right now. Vardy, we probably don't trust either. Gabriel Jesus is injured. Delap, newly promoted team again. Do we trust him? Probably not. Cody Gakpo is in here. I think he is a genuine consideration, but I don't think I'm going to go there because of that minutes risk. But I wouldn't blame others for going there. I think he is one of the better shouts, for sure. Solanke, you're not going to buy ahead of Arsenal and Everton. And then you got Jackson, who everyone is selling right now, apparently. And then after that, we're looking at Wissa, who plays City and Liverpool in the next two. Raul Jimenez, maybe, but, you know, he's a bit of a penalty merchant recently. Strand Larson, Cunha, horrible fixtures. João Pedro may be injured this week. Mateta, we're really digging around for scraps at this point. It's very scrappy. Ben says, as a Liverpool fan, don't go near Gakpo. Way too risky. I agree. I agree he's too risky for me. But for a lot of people, I think he won't be too risky for them. Do we have a stick to FPL this week? For Game Week 22, yes, we do. That's going to be recorded on Thursday, and it will be up on Friday morning. So it's going to be a very short-lived episode. But there will be a Game Week 22 episode, yes. Game Week 21 episode obviously went out last Tuesday. Last Wednesday, actually. Mong Sendong says, hello, Dan, it's my birthday. Please wish me, mate. Happy birthday, Mong Sendong. Hopefully this birthday brings you some green arrows in FPL. Good luck, my friend. Calvin Lee says, hi, Dan, what are your thoughts on Danny Ings for a differential punt? I don't know, man. I don't think so. That really would be such a big punt. I don't know. Ethan C says, risk of Isak not starting but getting subbed on. I think the bigger risk is him starting and getting subbed off early, to be honest. But is there a risk there? It depends. I suppose if Isak's not fit, then he's probably not going to be on the bench. If he's available, he starts, I would have thought. I'm really not sure. Who do you think will have the better manager bounce, Moyes or Potter? Has Moyes been announced as Everton manager? Is it confirmed? Oh, yes, it is confirmed. I didn't realise it was confirmed. But will he be managing this weekend? Anyway, who do I think is going to have the better bounce? I would say Moyes. I think Potter is more of a long-term kind of manager, isn't he? Like, he's a kind of project kind of manager. So I think it might take a little longer for things to click for Potter at West Ham. Whereas Moyes, you know, he is a man who can get immediate results. Crazy, by the way. Return of Moyes to Everton. I feel like I'm back in 2008. When was Moyes last manager of Everton? Would he leave in like 2011 or something? Crazy long ago. Let's see. Okay. Oh, wow. He managed from 2002 to 2013. Just I remember as a child, Moyes was just the Everton manager. Like throughout my entire childhood. That was just Moyes and Everton was like in the same way as Arsenal, Arsene Wenger, Alex Ferguson, Manchester United, Moyes, Everton. That was just the way of the world. That's just how the world worked. So it feels right. But also kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. 20 years. 23 years since his first stint started as Everton manager. How mad is that? Imagine like in like our lives, you have a job. Like, I don't know, you have a job working somewhere, and then you leave the job after a while, and 23 years later you go back and work the same job. But everything's different, everything's changed in that time. Can't imagine it, man. I can't imagine going back to like my first job. I think I would do it though. Would I do it? I don't know. I was working. Well, what was it? I was working at Homebase. I was working at I don't know if you have Homebase in around the world, but it's like I don't know, a home/garden store. How would you describe Homebase? I don't even know. They sell drills and carpets. And potted plants. Why not? Sid Fisher says Trent for Gavardio. Definitely not. Oh, wait. Trent in? Or Trent out? Or would Mateta for Jesus? Right, I'm so confused. Who are you selling here, Sid Vicious? I definitely wouldn't sell Trent. I would probably not sell Gavardio and Timber either. I would maybe sell Timber, actually, to be fair. And I guess I would maybe sell Gavardio. These are not priority transfers, but I would do it if I had a few frees. Jesus is probably going to be the priority transfer. If you need someone to start this week, go for Mateta. If not, Wood. Akshan says Flecken to Pickford and Colwell to Hull for free. Yes. Yes, why not? And Freddie Barnes-Jane says, is Munoz a better long-term pick than Hall? No, I don't think so. I think Hall is a better long-term pick. Like, in the medium term, we can see... Let's find fixtures for Munoz. Like, really nice fixtures here. There are a couple of tougher ones. Brentford, Man United, Fulham, Aston Villa, even Newcastle here. But Leicester, West Ham, Everton, Ipswich are prime fixtures for Munoz. But I think Hall, because he plays for a better defence, and even though the fixtures might not be as good in the short term, for the rest of the season, and the quality of the Newcastle defence right now, which is just, really, really top, I would say, and Hall is putting up fantastic creative numbers as well. I would say that Hall is the better longer term pick. Munoz is more exciting though, no doubt about that. Bunnings is the Australian equivalent to Homebase. Yes, that is exactly right. The only reason I know anything about Bunnings is because of a YouTube channel I watch, a prank YouTube channel I watch, called Misfit Minds. Has anyone watched Misfit Minds? That is honestly one of my favourite YouTube channels to watch. But they're banned from Bunnings because they kept doing pranks there. Can we do bench ranking? Yeah, we'll start the bench list at 5 PM, so half an hour. I don't like to blow my load too early with the bench list. Lots of people asking about captain. If you want the opinion of the chat, well, It looks like Salah is the preferred captain currently. I don't think there is a clear best captain this week, to be fair. If Isak was 100% fit, I would say Isak. But I don't know. There's just concerns around Isak, isn't there? I completely understand why people are a little nervous. But if Isak was to start and play, 80 minutes, then I would say Isak is the best captain this week, personally. But we don't know for sure. And there's no way of knowing. And we know that Eddie Howe at Newcastle is just a liar. And you're never going to get direct answers from him. And even if you do, there's a good chance that it's just not going to be the truth. Isak is a Dan pick. For sure, Isak is a Dan kind of captain. And I will be captaining him. Probably. Should I get Isak in for a -4? Oh, I don't know. If we knew he was 100% fit, then yeah. It depends who you're selling as well. If you're selling like Gabriel Jesus, then yeah. If you're selling like Jackson, then no. So people will ask me over and over in this chat, is Isak playing? Is Isak going to start or not? Eddie Howe says that the injury is not serious and that he's pushing to play. But Eddie Howe is famously unreliable. It was only a month ago where I sold Isak because Eddie Howe said he was injured. So, any press conference information we get from Newcastle is unreliable. I would love to tell you if Isak was going to start. I mean, the game is not even until tomorrow, so it's not like we're going to get any leaks either. But it's just impossible. Ollie Phillips says, I moved him to Mateta. Thanks for the advice. Who? Jesus, if so. Could be nice. Could be a really nice game week for Mateta. Confidence in Foden? Pretty low. But you're probably not going to sell him ahead of Brentford. Thoughts on Enzo to Ahmad? Yeah, I would do it for free. I wouldn't do it for a hit. Should I bench Jackson over Joao Pedro? Probably not. Thoughts on Haaland? If you can afford him, why not? If he damages the rest of your squad, though, then maybe not. Start Wood, Enzo, or Digne? I'd probably just back Wood and see what happens. Penalty takers, Minis Dialing says, Rodgers/Elanga. Should I sell one for Gordon and -4? Definitely. I say definitely not for a -4. I don't think I would do it for a -4, no. Is Isak still your captain choice, Dan? I think I'm going for Isak, yeah. I think. But, I don't want to tell people that Isak is the best captain because I don't think that's true. When is some more Stick to FPL coming out? Gameweek 21 episode dropped last Wednesday and the next episode's going to be on Friday. So there's going to be more Stick to FPL coming soon. Haaland and Enzo to Isak and Bruno. Yes. Oh, would I? I don't know. Maybe this is probably not the week to do that. I'll probably stick with Haaland for 2 more weeks because I've got Brentford and Ipswich in the next 2. I don't think I would sell Haaland right this second. No. And if you have Haaland, I would seriously be considering captaining him this week as well. Who do I sell Enzo for? Gordon, if you can afford to do Gordon, I'd say. Should I captain Haaland over Salah, Palmer, or Gordon? I have no Isak. I think I would consider it, yeah. If I had Haaland, if I had Bruno, I think they would be massively in the conversation alongside Isak, Salah, Palmer. It's just a really difficult week for captains this week, guys. Honestly, it's it's really difficult to say who the best is because there's so many factors at play. I mean, we can have a look at the projections. I believe Isak is top for projected goals, but I will verify that according to the market data. Isak, yeah, but when you consider extra points for goals, Palmer goes ahead on the projected goal points compared to Palmer. Haaland is obviously there as well. So is Fernandes, so is Salah. Fernandes and Salah are actually tracking around the same this week. So I think that's why Fernandes is a consideration. But I think as long as you're captaining one of Haaland, Isak, Palmer, Bruno, or Salah, then I think you're picking a good captain and the rest is fate. And we just have to see what happens. I know, like, we don't like talking about FPL being luck-based. But if we're totally honest, it is, isn't it? Like, FPL is a lot down to luck. And I think you just gotta choose your poison and hope for the best out of a whole bunch of different options. So I'm gonna captain Isak, but like I say, I can't tell you with any kind of confidence that Isak is the best captain. And with Isak, it's purely due to fitness. I would say that if Isak was 100% available, then he would be the best. But, okay, passer. Oh, D News says DIY store. Yeah, Homebase is a DIY store. That is the best explanation of what Homebase is. A DIY store. Nice. Mark says, key thing is to pick someone who you want and own it. If you captain somebody just because other people do it and they blank, it's going to be even more annoying. I completely agree, which is why I'm kind of trying to emphasize the fact that I'm captaining Isak, but that doesn't mean you should. Because for me, Isak is my gut pick. And if I went for someone else and Isak ended up doing really well, I'd be really frustrated with myself for going against my gut. But different people are going to have different gut instincts. So I don't know. Isak, he didn't training. Isak supposedly was due to train today. I don't know if he actually has trained today or not, but he was apparently due to train today, ahead of the fixture tomorrow. So he hasn't trained up until then. But it could just be, you know, it could just be like super minor issues, rest, Eddie Howe just doing his usual lying stuff. Because he was due a rest. And it's, you know, the FA Cup was a good opportunity to rest him in a favourable fixture there. Can't even remember who Newcastle played, but it was like a lower league team, wasn't it? Newcastle FA Cup. Bromley. Yeah, there you go. Like, when you consider how many minutes Isak has played recently, you can certainly understand why he is getting a rest here and there. You know, 85 against Spurs, 90 against United, 90 against Villa. I mean, he played like every game over the Christmas period, and that's like 2 games a week. League Cup as well, obviously, against Arsenal. Did he play full 90 against Arsenal? We know he scored in that game, obviously, because it's what he does. He didn't play full 90. How many minutes did he play? 65. So, yeah, but still, due rest. I mean, why does it say that Isak is injured? Because the FPL website literally just throws random predictions based on press conference information. I know people will live and die by whatever it says on the FPL website, but can you honestly say that somehow, through some magic, that the Fantasy Premier League website knows for sure that there is a specifically 75% chance of Isak playing? Specifically. No, it's just a very vague prediction, not really based on anything that will actually happen in real life. Unless a manager gives a clear answer, a player is injured or isn't injured, and this is when they will return. These kind of things are unreliable. How many times have we seen players with yellow flags play? How many times have we seen players with these yellow flags be injured for 6 months? It happens all the time. It's just super vague. Like, how on earth would Fantasy Premier League know that Isak has a 75% chance of playing? There's no way of knowing that. So I wouldn't pay too much attention to these. I would more use them as an instruction to do your own research. And your own research could just be, you know, coming to the stream, coming to the videos, and we talk about these things. But yeah, this means nothing to me. It means very, very little. Even this, like, we don't know for sure that Gabriel Jesus is out this week. Do we know that for sure? Actually, I think it was reported earlier today. But it's not, you know, it's not been said by the club. And then we have like situations, you know, we've seen in the past where players have had red flags and then they've been absolutely fine to play for the next game. So yeah, be very, very careful. If it's enough to put you off, fair enough. But I prefer to actually look at the press conferences, the training, and then maybe try and make some predictions. I would say that Isak has a far more likely chance to start than not start. Edo says, "Hey Dan, should I -4 Diaz out for Bruno or Mbeumo?" If I was to do one, it would definitely be Bruno and not Mbeumo. But would I take a -4? I don't know. I don't think I would. And I think one of the reasons is because Diaz, I think, is probably due a start. He was rested in the last game in the FA Cup. So I think he is due to start against Forest. And actually, Forest do have a little bit of a positional weakness on their right-hand side of their defence. So Liverpool's left-hand side of the attack, again, talking tactical matchups, they do concede a lot of chances down that flank. So I would be fine with playing Diaz, I think. Sid Fisher says, buy Trent for Timber or buy Mateta for Jesus. Oh, that's a little clearer. I'd buy Mateta for Jesus, I think. How many minutes do you reckon Isak gets? Depends. If Newcastle aren't winning, then he probably plays the full 90. If they are 1 goal up, then we may be looking at 80, 85. If they're 2, 3 goals up, he could be feasibly subbed at 60, 65, 70. So there we have it. Dan takes the minutes risk of Isak. I'm going to take the risk. But that doesn't mean you should. But I like a risk. I enjoy a risk. I think it's a high upside risk. Right, we do need to do the bench list very soon. I'm going to give it another 15 minutes. Roy says, damn, what are the lottery numbers for Saturday? I mean, that is about as valid of a question as will Isak start this week or not? Although, to be fair, I think I've got a better chance of predicting whether Isak will start than predicting what the lottery numbers are. Is there any reason to keep Enzo? Got the money for Gordon, could also just roll. I can't think of a strong argument to not sell Enzo for Gordon. I like that move a lot. I think Isak will play 60. It depends on the scoreline. If Newcastle are a few goals up, then I can definitely see Isak, you know, getting subbed off at 60. I can definitely see that happening. As long as he scores twice, by that point, I'll be cool with that. Set off any fire alarms recently? I don't know what that means, Luke. Do I often set off fire alarms? Maybe when I'm cooking up a great FPL score, but I haven't been cooking up too many great FPL scores in the recent game weeks, to be honest. You'll be taking the red arrow with me when Isak gets benched and Salah hauls. If Isak doesn't start and is not fit enough to play, then I'll just have Salah as my vice captain anyway. So that's no problem for me. No problem at all. Will you do a bench list tonight? Yes, I will, in about 15 minutes. Sarta Bruno? Definitely not. Wasn't it at school, or did I misremember some misunderstanding? Have I ever set a fire alarm off at school? Possibly. You're not talking about the helicopter story, are you, Luke? Because if so, then there's definitely a story there. Oh, am I taking a risk here with Isak? I am. You guys are making me nervous about Isak, I can't lie. I kind of want to captain Isak, though. Surely he's going to be fine. Amir says Foden to Gordon / Bruno and Rico Lewis to Hall for a hit. Yeah, I think I maybe would do that. Matessa for captain. Surely you've got better options than that if you really want to. Bitty Boy says, I'm ranked 453rd in the world, but feel I've been lucky. Do you know any chip strategies I should use? Yeah, man, like we've been making chip strategy videos already this week. That video is definitely not out of date. I would recommend checking that video out. Check out that video. It was posted, I don't know, a few days ago. YouTube / FPL Mate. It was posted 3 days ago. Yeah, this video. It's a good one. It's a good one. It should really help you out. But of course, like, it is a little early to fully commit to chip strategy. But there's definitely some ideas. And actually, my video yesterday laid out an idea for my personal chip strategy as well. What to do with Jesus? Sell him. But who knows who to. I think by the way, I don't know if I've actually said this today in the stream, but I think I am going to sell Jesus to Wood today and catch the price change, because some of my transfer plans are a little bit budget dependent. I can't lie. Very, very close. So, considering that, let's find the toolbox. Price changes. We're going to see Wood go up tonight. And Hall up tonight as well. Nice. Look, quite a few players going up. Dubravka up is crazy. Isn't Pope like within days of being available? Luis Diaz going to be down to 7.5. Remember, there's no Darwin Nunez this week either. So Luis Diaz minutes potential is actually pretty good this week. I know there's Jota there as well. Could it be finally the time for Gakpo to miss out? Wood's data is poor. Yeah, I know. And yet he keeps scoring goals. I mean, I love data as much as the next guy, but at a certain point, you have to admit that overperformance, when it's done over 20 game weeks, is no longer overperformance. It's just performance. Everyone get Jebison at 4.5. Is there a cheaper striker than that right now? What's the cheapest forward in the game? Who is the cheapest forward in FPL? There's no one cheaper than that. I mean, do you think Jebison's actually going to start? Has he been on loan and been recalled? Yeah, he's been recalled, hasn't he? Because a Watford? Watford. Didn't score any goals. So he has been recalled. I don't know. I don't know if he's suddenly going to be the guy. Mark says, failed last year, free hit on a blank game week. I'm free hit, double game week 33. But, okay, say you do free hit and double game week 33. When are you going to bench boost? And when are you going to use your assistant manager? And how on earth are you going to navigate game week 34? I completely understand that people will be frustrated with the free hit from last year. I totally understand. However, I feel like there's not much choice but to free hit in one of 29 or 34. And given that 34 is probably going to be an absolute nightmare to navigate without the use of a free hit, it's not just about how many points you get in the individual game week, but it's about how it impacts your team around that. If we get Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Spurs, Man United, if we get all of these teams blanking, maybe Aston Villa as well, if we get all of these teams blanking in game week 34, but then all of these teams doubling in 36, some of those teams doubling in 33, then how on earth are you going to be able to have the players in 33 and 36? Like, one option is to wildcard in 35, ready for a bench boost in 36 maybe. The other, you could technically free hit in 33 and then wildcard in 35, I suppose. And maybe just focus transfers on trying to navigate blank game week 34. You'd need a lot of free transfers to do that. But then when would you play your assistant manager? You would be forced to play it in 24, essentially, wouldn't you? I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that's like it is an option. I'm never gonna say that one chip strategy is better than another for everyone and for certain. But I think for 90% of people, free hit in 1 of 29 and 34 is going to be the way. Mark says, assistant manager 24 to 26. I guess that's on slots. Dead end into 34. Well, what about 29? I see how it would work as long as if you were to wildcard in 35 and bench boost 36, I can see how that could work. But what you do is, if you're dead ending into 34 and also trying to navigate the game week 29 blank, what you could find is that you actually have a really weak squad between game week 29 and 34, like generally. So you might miss out on some big hauls from key players in 30, 31, 32, 33. Unless you're able to just roll transfers every week. That's the only maybe exception to that. If you just roll. And then do all the transfers at once in game week 34. I could see that maybe working. But game week 29 might cause some issues there. But it's possible. I definitely want to put that out there. Like, I don't want to say it's impossible. I think it is possible, but it's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tricky to pull that one off, I think. And you're gonna have to see a lot of things go your way. No injuries, maybe some key FPL assets blanking. That's interesting. And also, you've got to hope that your assistant manager in 24 comes off, because I don't know if I love the look of the slot assistant manager. So what would it be for slot? It would be Bournemouth away, Everton away, Wolves at home, Man City away. Like, you could get some points there, but you wouldn't be surprised to see some dropped points in that run. And certainly, you wouldn't expect to see a huge amount of goals. Maybe against Wolves. Maybe. But Bournemouth and Everton, two of the top defences in the Premier League. I'm not personally interested in a slot assistant manager of 24 to 26. I think there's going to be higher upside opportunities elsewhere. Like, because of the assistant manager chip, because it is like just the most, you can just transfer him with City away. Yeah, but like, if you're planning on trying to dead end into Gameweek 29 and 34 or whatever, and use your transfer, just using transfers alone to navigate 2 blank game weeks, you're not going to be able to have free transfers to be spending on your assistant manager. Like, could get very, very messy. Gameweek 34 and 29 are low scores. Well, exactly. That's why you make sure you're targeting around them and using your free hit as to ensure that your team is as strong as possible around those game weeks. That's just my opinion. Transfer slot to Arteta 26. And what would that give you in 26? West Ham at home. Honestly, Mark, I'm curious to see how this comes off, because I think I definitely see that it could work out. I definitely can see it working out. But it is going to be very difficult to pull off. I'm curious to see. So yeah, good luck, man. Good luck. Bald Head Dread says, sell Semenyo and Robinson to Gordon and Mikalenko / Nico Williams. Definitely would not be selling Robinson to Mikalenko or Nico Williams this game week. Definitely not. Mikalenko plays against Villa. Williams plays against Liverpool. Robinson plays against West Ham. Like, that's a good fixture for Fulham. Bad fixtures and Fulham are a perfectly reasonable defense. Robinson, decent attacking threat. I definitely would not be making the Robinson transfer. I'd actually be more likely to sell Mikalenko and Nico Williams for Robinson. I'd be more likely to do it the other way around. Semenyo to Gordon looks good. Is it a money thing? You need to find someone super cheap. Maybe that's why. Because Robinson's what? Is Robinson up to 5 yet? 4.9 maybe? Robinson 5, okay. And Mikalenko 4.3. I'm guessing Nico Williams is 4.3 as well. So it's a financial thing. Nah, man, just get Murphy. At that point, just get Murphy. Or you could do Mikalenko if you can bench him. If you've got like a Hall or a Munoz who you can play instead of Mikalenko anyway, then maybe you could go for Mikalenko, get him ready for the double game week. That is the only exception. Edo says, hi Dan, should I start Watkins or Wissa? I think I would play it safe and go for Wissa. Sid Fisher said, I play triple captain. What about assistant manager on slot in game week 24? We just spoke about that for like 10 minutes. Where were you, Sid? Where were you? I prefer no. I prefer to save it for game week 31 to 33. That's my preference. Or 36 to 38. One of the two. That's going to depend a lot on who gets the double game weeks, I think. So I'd say game week 24 is my third favourite time to play the assistant manager chip. All right, we will do the bench list. Let me just go for a wee first. Should have probably gone before starting the stream, but disorganised and drinking far too many drinks. Had pretty much a whole Lucozade and a squash in an hour. Right, I'll be back. And then bench list time, actually. Okay, bench list. The show must go on. Okay. Been announced by Arsenal that Jesus has torn his ACL. Well, if it's been announced, it's been announced. Drink water, Dan. Does squash not count as water? There's water in it. A little. It's like 90% water. Okay, so bench list. We promised a bench list, and we will deliver. Let me just set it up real quick, and here we go. So, who do you want? First of all, Isak. I know people were asked about Isak. You start him. Actually, let's find a warning emoji, just so I can... Just so we don't get the usual thing of me putting a player on the bench list and people saying, oh, does that mean a player is available? What on earth is going on? Why is there like a... I don't... Let's remove the link. Oh, that's much better. Oh, cool. I didn't know I could do that. Oh, that's better. Right. Let's throw some more players on here. Joao Pedro. Rodgers. I think I'm leaning Rodgers over Wood, by the way. I would probably bench Enzo over both. Okay, Sarr, you play Sarr. You definitely play Sarr. Semenyo. Semenyo. I'm going to put him here, I think. Mateta and Raul, please. No, I'm not. Why on earth do you own Mateta if you're not going to play him against Leicester? Sell him. Sell Mateta if you. I don't. Some things I just will never understand. If you're not going to play Mateta against Leicester, sell him from your FPL team if you're even considering benching him. Because why do you have him? Why do you have him in your squad? Doesn't make any sense. Raul Jimenez. Even that is a little confusing. Why would you bench Raul Jimenez? Is there a reason to bench him? I can't think of one. I can't think of one at all. People were asking about Wissa earlier as well, so I suppose we'll throw him on. I think I would play him ahead of a lot of players. Right, let's throw some defenders on here. Kirkes is going to go to the bottom here. I'm going to put Hall ahead of... we'll put Robinson here. I'm going to put Hall ahead of a lot of these players, actually. I quite like Hall for this week. Let's go Hall here. Amad Diallo. Again, like, why do you have Diallo if you're not going to play him against Southampton? Like, I've got to trim the fat on this bench list. If we just put every player in the entire game in, then you're not even going to be able to read the text, guys. Aina would go here. Castagna Munoz. Okay, Castagna can go here. Munoz, I like. I'm going to put him next to Hall. Why leaning towards benching Robinson? I'm not. It depends. Well, it depends who else you have, really. A lot of these are attackers, and I usually would back the attacker over a defender. But really, it's only two other defenders above Robinson, and that's Hall and Munoz. If we start adding other players, then it'll get even more significant. Gabriel, I would start. Yes, I would start Gabriel ahead of Hall. Yes, I would start Gabriel ahead of Hall. Give him the choice. Jackson. Yeah, I would not be benching Jackson this week. I'm going to put him here. A lot of people ask about Dina for some reason. I think I would play Dina. Would I might even play him ahead of like Robinson and Castagna, to be honest. Maybe it's a little risky, but yeah, I think I would give him a go. Trent, are we really thinking benching Trent? Man, you guys are crazy. Yeah, no, I would not bench Trent. Mikalenko would go somewhere down here. Or would he? Actually, no, I'm going to put him there. I'm going to boost him above Kirk as a niner. Who else? And die. Oh dear. Timber. Is Timber flagged in FPL? I wonder. Have they flagged him? They haven't flagged him. But he does have a potential issue. So what did Arteta say on Timber today? He said, okay, he's fine. He was just cramping. Okay. Okay, in that case, we still need to put Timber somewhere. He's going to go below Gabriel, Hall, Munoz. Should I slide him next to Dina? Let's slip him in there. Wood's already on there. Right, who else seems to be popular in the chat? Watkins. Watkins. I definitely understand the Watkins concern. Let's throw him in. Maybe next to Rodgers. Maybe here. I don't know, man. I think Duran is just so good, isn't he? Maybe below Rodgers. I don't know. I'm just so concerned about Watkins' minutes. We're gonna put him below Rodgers and Woods. We're gonna drop him down a little. Mateta's not going on the bench list. If you are considering benching Mateta, sell him. Please sell him. Like Mateta owners, like, all right. Genuine question for the chat. If you own Mateta, if you have Mateta in your FPL team, are you seriously considering benching him? And if so, why? Or are you, you know you're going to play him? Let me know. If you are a Mateta owner, what are you doing with him? Are you starting him? Are you benching him? I can't believe this is even a conversation. But am I missing something maybe? Because there's been a few people have asked for Mateta on the bench list. We'll throw a man on here. I didn't think it was. I think this is definitely a week to play a mad. I'm going to throw him in here. Yeah, all of the Mateta owners seem to be starting him. I can't see anyone who's given me a reason to bench Mateta. So he doesn't need to be on here, does he? Like, even, like, people are saying Mbermo. I don't know, man. Would we really be thinking about benching Mbeumo? Man City aren't that good. I mean, I would be playing Mbeumo. Let's put him ahead of Sarr. You know, I'm going to put him ahead of Sarr. Like, why not? I don't think he's a benching consideration at all, really. I think we're maybe being a bit generous with some of these players on the bench list. They are pretty obvious starts, I think. Cunha, I certainly understand the concern against Newcastle away. And there's probably better options than him. But I think if you have him, you probably start him. We'll put him We'll put him maybe in this kind of area. Jacob Murphy, again, if you have him, you absolutely start him. Maybe behind Jackson? Like that? Semenyo over Enzo, how come? Because Semenyo is going to be playing as a central striker, we think. Which is nice. A nice out-of-position player. But it is close. Why play Jackson? Because he's the central striker for one of the best attacks in the Premier League with good underlying data. Might not be in the best form right now, but over the past year has been a very, very consistently good striker. I mean, how many goals has Jackson scored in the last year? Probably 20 goals in the Premier League. Something like that. So far this year he scored 9, and second half of last season he probably scored 11. So pretty good to me. Gvardiol. Alright, few people are asking for Gvardiol, so we'll throw him in. He'd be below Trent, below Gabriel, below Hull, below Munoz. He would probably come in somewhere somewhere in this area. Liam says, who would you bench between Robinson and Rodgers? I believe both players are on the bench list and Rodgers is higher up. So hopefully, Liam, that answers your question, my friend. Gvardiol. Where would I put him? Okay, I'm going to put Gvardiol here. Colwill. Maybe here. Eza. Someone's thinking about benching Eza. So honestly, sometimes, guys, I don't understand. You guys confuse me. You gotta start Eza. Eza. Basically any regularly starting Crystal Palace player that you have, with maybe the exception of like the centre backs. And maybe the central midfielders like Hughes. You just start Mateta, Sarr, Eze, Munoz. Those 4 players. You got to start them. You absolutely have to start them if you have them. Leicester is a great fixture. It's the same with your Manchester United guys. If you've got Bruno, if you've got Ahmad, just start them. Gotta be dumb. Would you play Jackson over a 4.5 million defender? Yeah. Yeah, I would. I'd definitely start him ahead of Robinson. If you've got Hall and Munoz, then I would try and play both of those, though. Why bench Fulham defenders against West Ham? Again, it's only if you have better options. If you have a Hall or a Munoz or a Trent or a Gabriel, then you're going to play those ahead of a Robinson and Castagna, I think. The fact that for Fulham it's an away fixture and new manager bounce potentially for West Ham, I think it's probably more sensible to play a Hall or a Munoz ahead of a Robinson or a Castagna. Well, that's just my opinion. If of course, by the way, guys, if you ever disagree with the bench list order, then please feel free to go in a different direction. Totally understand. This is, of course, just my opinion. Just one man's opinion. Do you do goalkeepers? I can do goalkeepers if you have any. I can put in Raya, Fabianski. I can put in Allison here. I can put in Sanchez. Don't know, who else do you guys own? Flecken, maybe? Or actually, to be fair, I think I would play Fabianski over Flecken. West Ham are missing Bowen, Antonio, and Fulkrug. Fulham. What do you want me to do, man? Would you rather play Robinson than Hall or Munoz? If so, fine. I personally would not. That's just my opinion. Hall and Munoz have better attacking threat. I think they have better fixtures, despite what you say about West Ham's attack. That's just my opinion, man. I you know, better attacking defenders playing for better defenses with better fixtures. It makes perfect sense to me to put Robinson and Castagna below Hall and Munoz. I understand if you don't have a Hall or Munoz, then you probably are going to play Robinson and Castagna. But so far on this bench list, we've got a lot of attackers really up here, and you're going to back your attackers ahead of Fulham defenders, I think. I don't think it's that controversial as to have that as an opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Lorenzo says, thanks for the insight. I've been watching since 10k subs, just never comment. Wow, that's actually crazy, Lorenzo. Thank you so much for sticking with me for so long. We're coming up far. It'll be, I think it's the 30th of January. It will be 5 years since the first FPL Mate upload. We're an old YouTube channel now. Nick Carl says, hi Dan, all good, starting fresh, tight in mini league. My 11 is Flecken, Hall, Munoz, Robinson, Salah, Palmer, Sarr, Gordon, Isak, Jackson, Gabriel, Trent / Pedro. Gonna bench Gabriel and Trent. I would play both Gabriel and Trent above Robinson, I think. It's a good squad though. Very good squad, Nicole. Right, someone asked for Verbruggen, didn't they? So Verbruggen can go. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad this week, is it, for Verbruggen? Let's go here. I still don't trust the Brighton defence generally. Oh, you know what? No, that's a lie. He needs to go lower than Sanchez. Why no Gordon in the list? Because this is a bench list, my friend, and I don't think anyone in their right mind is going to be benching Gordon. Yeah, I think maybe some people misunderstand what the bench list is, which is why I put the explainer on screen. But this is a list of... Could we rework the text so people better understand? Maybe this bit needs to go in bold. There we go. Look for the player. Look for the players you are considering benching on the list on screen. The higher your bench dilemma players are on the list, the more you should prioritize playing them. I mean, that barely makes sense as a sentence. Is there any way I can reword that to maybe give better understanding? The higher your bench dilemma players are on the list, the higher the priority to play them is. There you go. Dean Henderson on the bench list. Let's go here. Francisco says Trent and Zhao out for Hall and Mateta. No. Enzo and Zhao out for Sart and Raul. Maybe. Or Zhao, Murphy and Diaz out. Definitely not. I don't like any of those transfer moves, my friend. You could maybe just do... You say you have Diaz. Could you just do Diaz to Gordon as a straight transfer? You don't need to sell Trent. João Pedro, I don't think you need to sell him. You would like to have Hall, but... Nah. No, I don't like it. Murphy is fine to keep as well. If he starts, he's going to be a really nice pick this week. Even Diaz, I think, is fine to keep. None of those transfers need to be made, Francisco. None of them need to be made. Matt sells. I would probably play him ahead of... Would I play him ahead of Fabianski? Yeah, maybe for the save points as well. Yeah. Right, I think we've got the majority of the key bench list players, right? Pickford. All right, we can add Pickford. I'd play him ahead of Sells. I'd play him ahead of a Brigham. I'd maybe play Henderson ahead of him. Leno. I'll definitely consider playing Leno. Maybe here? Yeah, Leno there. Gakpo bench list. I wouldn't bench Gakpo. Where would you put Solanke on the list? Well, great question. That is a good question. Apparently I missed a super chat as well. Let's find it. Oh yeah. Bernie says rank Eze, Sarr, Mateta and Munoz as FPL assets. Are we if we're taking player price into consideration, I'd probably put Sarr number 1. If we're putting position and like other options and opportunity cost into consideration, I think Mateta would have to be pretty high as well. Let's say, and I think with Munoz is an amazing FPL asset. But with players like Hall and Robinson and those expensive defenders, Trent, Gabriel, Van Dijk, even like Kanate, I think there's so many other options in defence and there's so many other options in midfield. But in the forward position for Mateta, there's not really very many options. So I'm going to say Sarr, Mateta, Eze, Munoz. I think Munoz is an amazing FPL asset, but I think he's very replaceable. Sarr is just, I think, really good value for money. Mateta fills a niche in which we're struggling to find forwards at the moment. And Eze is a perfectly good pick. They're all great picks. I like all of those FPL assets, but you asked me to rank them, and I have done so. If you're asking me purely who do I think is going to get the most FPL points, I would maybe answer differently. Maybe. Right, did I say I was going to put a player on the bench list before I read out that super chat? Don't know. Let's see. People still asking about captaincy. I'm currently on Isak. I think I'm terrified of captaining Isak, but I think we're going to do it anyway. 5,000 votes. Oh my word. How many people have been in this stream today? Clearly at least 5,000. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever had 5,000 votes on a stream poll before, but we'll take it. That's good data, you know. That's really good data. And you can see how tight the captain poll is as well. If you guys have voted, you'll be able to see the results of the captain poll. We're currently at Salah 36%, Isak 30%, Palmer 27%, and other 8%. So it's so tight. It really is super, super tight. Just got to go with your gut, haven't you? Strand Larsen I'm not going to put on the bench list because I think not enough people own him. But, you know, he would be in the, I don't know, Semenyo, Enzo kind of area, I think. Pretty low, pretty low. Gvardiol to Trent. You could do, yeah, definitely an option. Definitely an option. I think we're probably going to want Trent Alexander-Arnold by the time we have the Game Week 24 double for Liverpool. Robinson over Van Dijk. Maybe. It's tight. I think I would back Liverpool defense though. Let's I'm just gonna have a quick look at the clean sheet projections this week. I'll show you guys as well. We did have a look at this earlier, but I'll show you guys again just to have a look at some clean sheet odds for this game week. So, and maybe this helps put into context some of the things we've been talking about today. So Manchester United are on top with 44% chance of a clean sheet, followed by Arsenal and Newcastle, both with 36% chance. Liverpool 33% chance, so actually pretty good there. Villa 31%, Crystal Palace 29%, Brighton 29%, Chelsea 28%. And you can kind of see at this point why Fulham at 24% are, and their defenders are just going to be a little lower priority than Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool, Crystal Palace defenders. It's not because they're bad, but I mean, these are the market odds, man. This is not something I make up. People get paid a lot of money to make these predictions. And they are, of course, always just predictions. But hopefully that gives a good idea of why Fulham defenders maybe aren't priority plays. They're kind of okay, but they're not like priority plays this week. Ibrahim says, hey, Dan, hope you're good. What do you think of Lewis to Hall for -4? Or play Timber? I think I'd play Timber. Bench 1, play 2. Morgan Gibbs-White, Watkins, or Ndiaye, who I will buy this week. Why people are buying Ndiaye? Fair enough. Who would I bench? I would bench, I guess, Morgan Gibbs-White. But I'm not happy about that. I guess bench Morgan Gibbs-White. And I would play Timber. I don't think I'd take a -4 to switch Lewis to Hull. That doesn't seem worth a -4, does it? Really surprised Arsenal are so high. I don't think it's that surprising, just because Arsenal are just so clear in their defensive numbers that they're gonna be top 3 no matter who they play, with maybe the exception of Liverpool and City. But even then, they'll be top 4, top 5 chances of a clean sheet. Like, they're always going to have some of the best projections for clean sheets every week. Hey there, Dan. Do you think Murphy to Gordon is worth it? Nah, I don't think so. Actually, we mentioned this before, but Wolves have on the left side of the Wolves defense, we often see Ait-Nouri bombing forward, and that could create some space for Murphy on the right-hand side of the Newcastle attack. So if Murphy plays, and his numbers are almost as good as Gordon's, they're very similar numbers. I would back, if Murphy starts, I would back him to do well against Wolves. I would back him. Maybe even better than Gordon, but probably not. But I don't think it's worth a transfer. Soham says, Hall to Timber, Semenyo to Gordon, Jackson to Wood. Hall to Timber or Timber to Hall, do you mean? Regardless, I would do Semenyo to Gordon out of those options. Any news on Isak's injury? He's due to train today. I don't know if he has trained or not today, but he was due to train today, and Newcastle are hopeful that he's going to be playing. So I think it's reasonably positive news on Isak. Kaja, did you say why Hall before Munoz? Hall has better clean sheet odds and a similar attacking potential. There you go. There's an unbiased answer for you. But I like both, and it is close. But yeah, ideally you play both. Nikhil says, Captain Isak or Palmer, leading towards Isak due to better form and fixture, but he could only get 70 minutes or so. What would you suggest? I would suggest, if you want to play things safe, I would go for Palmer. If you are happy to take a risk, then Isak. I also really like Isak, but it's important we recognise that if you're captaining Isak, you are taking a risk this game week. If you want to be sensible, if you want to be safe, and you don't really feel like going too crazy this game week, then I would go for Palmer. Or Salah as well, of course. Is a mad captain crazy? Yes, it is crazy. I think that's too far. I think that is too far. Blizzard says, I'm thinking of benching Jackson for Raul. Bournemouth has a better defence. Nicholas Jackson is more off form. West Ham were rubbish this season. Is it too risky? I understand it. I do understand it. I don't think I would do that personally. And ideally, you would play both. In an ideal world, you play both and then bench one of your midfielders. But if you feel a strong way that Raul is going to do better than Jackson, then absolutely go for it. But it's important to remember that, you know, we can say that Raul's been in better form than Jackson, but that's because Raul's been scoring penalties. So, has Raul been doing better than Jackson, or is just Raul getting more penalties? You know? I don't know. But yeah, I get it. I definitely understand why people are down on Raul Jimenez at the moment. I definitely understand that. But for me, it's I don't know. It's important we put Raul's performances into context, I think. From a footballing point of view, I suppose. People ask me about news on Isak. The news is, and I know I'm probably going to have to keep, I mean, I've said this a million times. I'll keep saying it. In fact, you know what? Should I just ring up Eddie Howe and ask him? Because that seems to be the only way we're going to get the answer. So, you guys just want Isak news. If I call Eddie, then I only get one call with him. He's a busy guy. All right. I'm going to have to cover up his number because I don't want you guys knowing Eddie Howe's number. He would not be happy if I leaked it. It's just dialing at the moment. Hold on, guys. Just dialing. Hello, Eddie. Oh, yes. Yes, my friend. And an oggy to you as well. Oh, yeah. No, I'm actually not calling about that. So basically I'm streaming right now on YouTube and the chat has not stopped asking about Alexander and his availability for Gameweek 21 playing against Wolves tomorrow. I mean, you know that. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't. You know that. Obviously, you know who you're playing tomorrow. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So what's the situation? Is Isak going to be starting? Like, what was he looking like for fitness? Okay. So did he train today? He was due to train today. Yeah, I know he was due to train today, but did he train today? You don't know. You don't know or you don't want to tell me? Come on, let's be honest, mate. Girl, we've been friends long enough. You don't need to beat around the bush with me. Okay. And you are hopeful he's going to start. You are. And you're not lying, are you, Eddie? Because I know what you're like. You can sometimes tell a few fibs. Right, okay. I don't know. Yeah? Okay. Well, I mean, I'll tell them. I don't know if they're going to be satisfied with that answer. All right. Okay, mate. Well, I'll see you at squash on Thursday. Yeah. Yeah. And then don't bring the wrong racket again because we know what happened last time. You lunatic. All right, Eddie. Take care, mate. Bye-bye. Bye. Okay. So here's the situation. Eddie Howe is said that Isak was due to train today and that they are hopeful that he is going to play. Eddie Howe is also a liar. The game is tomorrow, so we're not going to get any leaks. We cannot say with any kind of certainty whether Isak is going to play tomorrow or not. So I don't know, guys. I wish I could tell you the answer. I'm captaining Isak. If I had the answer, I would be telling you. But I don't know. Nobody knows. There is not a... I mean, even... Is Newcastle themselves even going to be sure at this point? I don't know, man. So anyway, that is the latest Isak news, and we'll be sure to update you again in 5 minutes when the next 10 people ask if Isak is going to start tomorrow. We'll update you. We'll see if there's any updates. I'll call Eddie up again and we'll see if there's any updates in the next 5 minutes. Veer says, yo, Dan, replacement for João Pedro, 2.8 million in the bank. I'll just keep him. I'll just keep him and use your bench. Totally understand it. That you want to look for a replacement, but there's not really much out there at the moment. So see if João Pedro plays. His fixtures after Ipswich could be worse. Not amazing, but like they could be worse. Let's have a look at them. Man United, Everton, Forest, Chelsea, Southampton. Like as a rotation option, and that's all João Pedro should be anyway, as a rotation option. There are fixtures here you could definitely play him in. Definitely options. There's options to play him. Is it a good choice to play Jacob Murphy? Yes, it is. I would definitely be starting him. Let's put the bench list back on screen because we're getting a few bench-related questions again. But yeah, for João Pedro, there's still a chance of him playing. I know someone in the chat says that João Pedro's been ruled out. I don't believe that's true. He has been training, so it's I don't know where he's not going to play is coming from. But he's in training, which I think is definitely an indication that he could start this week. But at the same time, it could be an opportunity for reduced minutes, or I don't know, just some minutes off the bench or something like that against Ipswich. Gabriel Jesus injury, yeah, ACL. He's out. He's out for the season. So I would be looking to sell Jesus. Am I mad for captaining Gordon? Isak injury has me nervous. It's a little bit mad. It is a little bit mad, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Veer says Vandenberg replacement can go up to 6.8 million. I would go for Hall or Munoz, I think. Maybe is Canate an option if you want to start loading up on Liverpool? Maybe. But I think I prefer to go for Hall or Munoz. Is it bad I want to captain Bruno Fernandes? And that's not bad at all. I actually rate that one. Ahmed says, best replacement for Jesus. I have Isak and Wood. Man, you're going to be scraping the barrel. I suppose Mateta. I suppose if I had Isak and Wood, I would go for Mateta. I need to make this transfer, by the way. I haven't made my Jesus to Wood transfer, but I'm going to do it, I think. Try and get ahead of that Southampton and Brighton game. Iwobi on the bench list. Yeah, we can throw Iwobi on there. Let's put him... Got to be below... Got to be around Semenyo and Enzo, right? Maybe... you know what? He's going here. He's going down there. FPL Meerkats here. Hi mate, bench Wood or Martinelli this game week? I'd bench Wood over Martinelli. I'd play Martinelli against Spurs. Surely. I think I'm going to bench Wood for Rodgers. Which might be completely stupid. I guess we'll find out. I haven't actually made the transfer yet, but I will be making it. Daniel says, I'm 1.5k overall rank. I don't want to pick a bad captain. Neither do I, but I've kind of already accepted that I will. I think this week, because like there's going to be such a split between captains, there is a very good chance that you are on the wrong end of the captain decision. I think you need to just go in with low expectations this week. And if your captain scores points, then of course celebrate. But who knows what's going to happen, man? Who knows what's going to happen? Rodgers is amazing, mate. I agree. I really like Rodgers. I don't love the fixture against Everton, though. Away. But I like the fixture against Liverpool for Wood even less. Replacements for Enzo. Gordon, if you can afford it, Gordon, I'll just go there straight away. What about Palmer over Isak and Salah? Yeah, Kaja, you're asking a lot of kind of these 50-50 questions. Like, just go with your gut. Like, we can't make all decisions for you, my friend. Salah, Palmer, Isak is such a tight captain decision. You just go with your gut. Munoz versus Hall, again, super, super tight. Go with your gut. There's a lot of coin toss questions this week, and it's very difficult to give clear answers. So I think with a lot of these things, you just need to just go with someone, take full responsibility for that decision, and hope for the best. That's all we can really do. That's all we can really do this week with a few decisions. It's frustrating because particularly this season, where the captain decision with Salah has kind of been spoon-fed to us every single game week. And like, you know, last year before, with Haaland as well. It's been so easy. Just captain Haaland every week. Captain Salah every week. So we get to these situations where there's a genuine dilemma. And we've been so blessed with decisions being taken away from us that when we're faced with a decision... This is what FPL should be about, really. This is what FPL should be about. Having decisions to make, not having the decisions to be made for you. Because captaincy has been a graveyard, really. It's been a kind of pointless. It's been pretty much pointless for the last 2 years. Completely pointless. Everyone just captains the same player. Every week, 90% of people are captaining the same player. This week, we have a genuine toss-up. Genuine toss-up. You can see in the poll, guys, 36% Salah, 29% Isak, 27% Palmer, and even 8%, which is significant, on other. I think you just got to pick your poison, expect the worst, and hope for the best. That is genuinely all I can really say. Because I cannot call who is the best captain. I really can't call it. I don't think anyone can. I don't think anyone can... Well, I would say that anyone who can say with confidence that any player is definitely the best captain are probably a fool. You'd have to be a fool to be confident. There will be a bunch of told you so merchants at the end of this game week. Don't worry about that. There will definitely be told you so merchants. But I think whatever the outcome, the decision is tight. Paredes says Rodgers versus Wood, bench one. I think I'm going to bench Wood and play Rodgers. I think that's my my choice there. Lineups. We're not going to get lineups for another 30 minutes, my friend. Oh. I didn't know Donyell Marlin to Aston Villa is done. Okay, this is even worse for Watkins. Although Marlin kind of can play on the wing as well, can't he? Yeah, Marlin to Villa is done. Watkins is just such a sell at this point, I think. Murphy in or Hull Johnson? I don't mind Murphy as a buy. I don't mind him. Captain Hall. Hey, it's one of those weeks where it's like it's so tight. You may as well captain Hall. I think I would. I think I would genuinely captain Bruno if I had him. I think that's where I would go. Right, guys. Shall we make my transfer? I can't believe I'm buying Wood to bench him, but such is life. I want to get ahead of this price change. Jesus drop in, Wood rise him. Every penny's going to count with my strat. So let's just get it done. And I think Wood is decent backup as well. Let me just finally check my rotations to make sure that he rotates reasonably well with some of my other guys. Let's go. My team. Did I save the Wood transfer? No, I didn't. So let's go there. It's my number 1 AI transfer anyway. I'm going to back Rodgers ahead of Wood. And then we bench Rodgers next week against Arsenal. And then the next week after that, we'll bench Wood. And then we'll just keep rotating these two back and forth. Probably maybe bench Wood against Fulham. Maybe not. We'll see. Gameweek 26. Gameweek 27. Yeah, Wood is going to be in and out of the team. Maybe a bit of rotation there. I'll probably play him most weeks. It's just probably Liverpool, maybe Bournemouth where I'd look to bench him. I'd probably play him the rest. We'll see how Newcastle are doing in Game Week 26. Whether we'll play him or not then. But I think he's just safe guy. He's just going to tick along with some points for me, I think. So let's see how he goes. I could potentially move to Solanke in a few weeks as well. Possibly. We'll see what my chip strategy is saying. But for now, Wood, Mr. Reliable, make the transfer, get him in the team. See you later, Gabby Jesus. Should have just done this transfer last week. We're going to bench Wood for Rodgers. Save the team. And I think we're locked. Oh, Ryan's asking if Isak is out. You think this justifies a phone call to find out the answer? I think I'm happy with my team, by the way, guys. I think this is, like, it's not perfect. Obviously, having Bruno would make me a lot more confident this week. But you can't have everyone, can you? And a lot of Bruno owners won't have Gordon. Just kind of pick your poison in many ways, isn't it? Who's your captain? Should say on screen, guys. Any leaks? I'll have a look to see if there's any leaks. All right, leaks. Can't see any. Oh, Sobersley starts. That's about as far as we're going. Yeah, that's it. Sobersley starts. That's the only leak I have. Is that a useful one? I don't know. I don't know. Right. Mo Salah possible rest? I don't think so. Surely not. It's not really the game to rest him anyway. Against Forest, it's a pretty big game. It's like, is it a title clash? I don't know. Maybe that's a bit extreme, but no, it's a very important game. If Salah's getting rested, it's not this week. Start Wood or Sarr? Oh, Sarr. But I mean, I have both players. I'm not even thinking about playing Wood ahead of Sarr. I'm not even thinking about it. Start 3, Trent, Hall, Castagna, Dina, Munoz. Maybe we need to get the bench list back up. There we go. But I know people are going to say, "Oh, what's your team, Dan? What's your team?" Ahmad just came to say hi. Well, hello to you too, Ahmad. Liam says, "Why is Dan avoiding those Rogers or Pedro questions?" I don't think I am. And both of those players, there was like some of the first players on the bench list, so it's not being avoided at all. Scott says, "I have 3 free transfers planning to roll unless I use one to replace Timber. Anyone worth it? Could afford any defender. Already have Trent and Gabriel." I don't think you need to use a transfer to replace Timber. The only player I would maybe consider would be Timber to Hall. Maybe Timber to Munoz, but probably Timber to Hall. That's probably where the only one I would consider, Scott. But I think Timber is fine to play. I think he's fine to play. A lot of people are asking bench-related questions, by the way, guys. And a lot of those bench-related questions are on the bench list on screen for you right now, guys. So hopefully that is going to help a lot of you. Most popular players are already on the bench list. What about Mitoma? He would go like, I'm not going to put him on the list, but he would go, I don't know, somewhere like around Raul Jimenez, maybe? Maybe that's a little high. Somewhere around João Pedro, I think. Why is Robinson so low on the bench list? Because all of the players above him, I think, have higher points potential than him. And no, to be fair, I don't really fancy Fulham for a clean sheet this week, to be honest. Or certainly I fancied other players on this list more. Yeah, again, a lot of people are asking bench-related questions, and the players are already on the bench list. So make sure, guys, you are checking the graphic on screen here to help you out with your bench-related decisions. Would you captain Ahmad or Mateta? No, I wouldn't captain either of them. Gakpo or Wood? I think I prefer Wood. Start Wood or Joelinton? Joelinton's random. I think I'd start Wood ahead of Joelinton. Get Murphy or Ahmad? Probably Ahmad this week. Are you going to transfer in Marmoush if City signs? I mean, we'll wait and see on that one, I think. Wood versus Diaz. We can throw Luis Diaz on the bench list real quick. I would personally be looking to start him ahead of a lot of these guys. I'd maybe put him here. Like that. There we go. Boom. Tom says, "Love you, Dan. You are the GOAT." On God. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't know how true it is. Trossard captain. Remember me, Dan, when you see him score like 4. I hope you're right. I hope Trossard does score 4. He's in my draft team, so I'm happy with that. Gordon or Haaland captain? I'd go Haaland captain over Gordon. FPL Rover, I already answered that question. Solanke or Rogers? Oh, I said I was going to put Solanke on the bench list and then just never did. Let's put Solanke here. Sell Robinson to Munoz? No. Salah or Palmer captain? Flip a coin, go with your gut, whatever needs to be done. MQF Mohammed, you having a problem with the QR code link to the prediction league? We'll have a look. Let's have a look at that after the deadline, because we'll stay on for a little bit whilst we wait for lineups. Pedro and Raul Jimenez are already on the bench list. Colwill and Aina is already on the bench list, so hopefully that should help that decision with Milenkovic. What about Aitnori? I would be looking to bench Aitnori. He'd be pretty low. Is it true Jesus is out with an ACL? Yes, it is. Thoughts on Ahmad? Yep, like him as a pick. Anyone know what happened to Kepa last week? Was he playing against Chelsea? Was that what? No, he's playing against Chelsea this week. That's why he can't play. Because he can't play against his parent club. Saliba not on the bench list? No, he is not. I don't think that many people own Saliba, but put him like the same place as Timber. Mateta, definitely don't bench him, but definitely a consideration to buy. Jesus replacements, Wood, Mateta, Raul Jimenez, something like that. Pedro Porro, I would look to bench him against Arsenal. Bench Solanke, maybe. Keep Semenyo or sell for Gordon. I would sell him for Gordon. Start Raya or Henderson. I would start Raya. Can you put Wan-Bissaka on the list? No, but he would be pretty low. No Man United defenders on the bench list. No, there's not. I would possibly start them ahead of every defender other than Trent, Gabriel, Hall and Kirkes. After that, I would play Manchester United defenders. Any City team news? I don't think so. Where would I put Lewis on the bench list? Pretty low. Pretty low. A show team now? That is incredibly demanding. No, don't tell me what to do. Play Saliba or Wood. I'd play Wood over Saliba. Actually, City news, we know Walker is not in the squad. Sultan says Sarr and Jackson to Mateta and Gordon, yes or no? The answer is no. Can I see who you're captaining? No, but I'll tell you it's Isak. Start Mateta over Jackson. Yes, definitely. Show Team Gang is going crazy. Yeah, it is. For God's sake, I'm just going to put my team on screen. And then people are going to ask bench-related questions, but it's too late. I'll answer all of your questions in the chat, though. I'm trying to answer as many as possible, as quickly as possible. So I'm going to keep answering questions in the chat. Keep them coming. Hopefully you've got some more simple ones. Raul or Rodgers? I would start Rodgers. Brendan Johnson or Wood? I would start Wood. I did Enzo to Bruno. Yeah, like it. Sells or Sa? I would start Sells. Why Raya over Becker? Isn't North London always high scoring? Raya has better clean sheet odds and probably better save points potential as well. Another dub for Show Team Gang. Yeah, the Show Team Gang get dubs on dubs this season, I swear. Let me just make sure my team is saved. Actually, let me take a screenshot as well. On my phone, just so I can post it on socials. All right, Robinson or Lewis? I'd play Robinson. Johnson or Wood? I'd play Wood. Isak or Palmer? I would captain Palmer to be safe, but I'm not going to, but I would if I'm giving advice. Sarr or Rodgers? I'd definitely play Sarr. Any other final questions? We're running out of time here, aren't we? Mbermo or Ahmad? I think I'd start Mbermo over Ahmad. Robinson or Timber? Tight one, but I think I would... Maybe Robinson, actually. I don't know. It's really tight. Ahmad or Gakpo? I'd start Ahmad. Gakpo or Elanga? I'd go Gakpo. Wood or Enzo? I'd play Wood. Gordon captain? Probably not. And that, guys, is deadline passed. Full-time. I'm just dropping everything, apparently. But we do need to get out the full-time whistle. Because that is full-time. The deadline has passed. Congratulations, everyone. We have locked in, probably from a captain perspective, the most stressful game week so far this season. For a captain point of view. Very stressful. Crazy one. But alas, we are done. How confident are we feeling, guys? Are we feeling confident ahead of the deadline? What do we think? Is it going to be like particularly with captains? Are you confident in your captain, or are you just going to go with the flow? Rahul's gone for Bruno captain. User says rumour has it that fans turn into Show Team Gang nearer the deadline for the memes. That's definitely true. So a lot of, you know what? I appreciate a good meme as much as the next guy. As much as the next guy. And, you know, Show Team Gang, we will get our revenge. We will, you know, you've had a good year, Show Team Gang. You've had a very good year. But all I'll say is, I don't know. Check your mirrors. Keep your eyes open. Because things aren't always as they seem. That's all I'm going to say. Not right now. Right now, everything is as it seems. But soon, we'll see. We'll see. Isaac Captain, you're not liking it? You're worried? Isaac Captainers should be worried. And I am an Isaac Captainer. I am also worried. W. Harrison says Mateta Captain. Oof. Oof. We'll see what happens. It's interesting, if nothing else. Ryan says, see you after the game week, FPL Mate. Yeah, see you later, mate. We will. I think we'll probably be back for videos tomorrow. I think I'll do buy, sell, keep, avoid tomorrow. Captain Ahmad, wish me luck. Good luck. You are going to need it. Barnsley says, Isaac Captain, I'm terrified. Me too, brother. Me too. A couple of Bruno Captainers here as well. Brandon and Dwax. Crazy. Jake says, do you reckon Palmer Captainers should be worried, Daniel? Full name. Your full named me. Salah is always scary to go against. Honestly, I'd be reasonably content with a Palmer or a Salah. I think Isaac is the scariest one, but I think it also has the highest upside. Do you think Martinelli will start versus Spurs? I don't think there's very much choice in the matter, sadly. Not seeing many leaks these days. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Captain Gordon, very optimistic. Wow, fair play. Fair play. I'm not. How cooked am I for Captain Gordon? Pretty cooked. Pretty cooked. I think it's an interesting one. I think he could be fine. He could be fine. This is the week to go different. But that's a scary one. That is one of the scarier captain choices. See, back in the day, this is what it felt like to pick a captain every week. Every week, we had this stress of who's the captain. But now, we've been absolutely mollycoddled by the game. We've been babied. We've been spoilt. Haaland captain on silent mode. Yeah, no one's captain Haaland these days. But, you know, if you do have Haaland, and not many people do, I think you could captain him. I think you can. Captain Murphy is one of the craziest captains I've seen, Lied. That is one of the crazy captains I've seen. Ahmad is also out there. Murphy and Ahmad captainers. Jobu has captained Savinho. Crikey. HDDV says, what's your score predictions for Forest Liverpool? I can't lie. Maybe 0-0. You know what? Let's do I'm going to do my sleeper predictions now. By the way, guys, if you want to join my prize predictor league, then the link is is the link in the description of this video. Someone open up video and tell me. Actually, no, I'll just do it myself. I'll watch my own stream, apparently. Yes, it is. Okay, top link in the description to join my predictor league. And we're giving away prizes, football shirts, PlayStations. I'm going to predict some games. So, Brentford versus Man City. We can do it together. If you guys have already downloaded, you're already in my predictor league. Let's go for it together now. I wish I could show it on screen, you know. Maybe just do it like that. Can you see that? You can see a massive reflection of my ring light. But yeah, we're going to do the predictions. So, obviously, we're going to put Man City to beat Brentford. Is that obvious? Or is it worth going for a cheeky draw here? Let's go cheeky draw. West Ham versus Fulham. Oh, you know what? I wouldn't mind that for a draw as well. I wouldn't mind that for a draw. I feel like surely I can't put... Like, wins and losses are more likely, aren't they? I'm going to go Fulham. Go Chelsea to beat Bournemouth. I honestly think Forest-Liverpool could be a draw. Honestly, I'm looking through these games. There's a lot of draws here. This is a week with a lot of draws. So let's go... I'm cooked this week on the Predictor League. I can tell already. Hey, Dan, is there any way you can invite me from the app itself? Yeah. No, apparently not. Okay, no, there's not. Why does the link not work? The link should work. The QR code, the link should work. No one has ever had any problems with it. Hey, can you try on like a different device or on browser or via Twitter or via YouTube? I don't know. Maybe there's another app you can click the link on, if that makes sense. Because the link should be fine. Right, Liverpool Forest. I think I'm just gonna go Liverpool. Let's just be boring. Everton versus Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa are gonna win. Crystal Palace to beat Leicester, Newcastle to beat Wolves, Arsenal to beat Spurs, obviously. Then we'll go Ipswich Brighton. I'm gonna put that as a draw. And we'll go Man United to beat Southampton. I'm pretty happy with those predictions. I'm pretty happy. But yeah, guys, give it a go if you want to. Link top of the description. And let's see, is anyone joining? If you're in the chat as well on the app, say hi. So I can say hi back. Say hi. And what happens is I press on the link and I press continue, but then it makes me go to the app store. I already have the app downloaded. Okay. Can you long press on the link so it takes you so it opens in the right? See, I don't know what device you're on, what operating system you're on. It sounds like an issue there, but I think if you long hold on the link, you can choose to open it within a certain app. If not, you might just need to like delete the app and reopen it. You'll still have your login, so deleting the app won't be an issue. I don't know. Maybe try that. Or just, oh, we have got a few people. I'm going to say hi back. Yeah, it sounds like a device issue on your end. I don't know if there's like a join code or anything like that. I don't think I have a join code. Oh wait, maybe I do. All right, here we go. I'm gonna throw a link in the chat. Try that. Try that one out. But I do need really people to use my referral link because Sleeper sponsor my channel, and if you don't use the referral link, then Sleeper will be like, how on earth has this person joined? So there you go. Try that link if you want to. Did you set up a team for Fantasy Challenge? I don't play Fantasy Challenge. Who do you take me for? It's a gimmick. I mean, not fair play anyone who enjoys Fantasy Challenge, but I don't think it's for me, really. It's not for me. Is Isaac injured? Should I get the phone out? Should we get the phone? Should we give Eddie a little call again to see if there's been any update on the Isaac injury? By the way, Matthew Mole, 3 Men and a Baby Yoda podcast. I am so curious. What does that entail? 3 Men and a Baby Yoda podcast. You simply must tell me more about your podcast. I am so curious. Oh, it worked? The link worked? Oh, I'm so glad. Good stuff. 3 dudes chatting Star Wars. That actually makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Specifically The Mandalorian, or, you know, is it all Star Wars? Just made a deadline transfer of Howson to Munoz to bench Joao Pedro. Thoughts? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's a fine transfer. I like Munoz. I do like Munoz as a pick. He's one of those few players that I don't have in my team that I low-key wish I did. Watch Trent Cook says I kept on changing my captain, and in the end I clicked Isak, saved it, and was going to go back to Salah, but deadline means I couldn't. Could be good. Could be good. Just accept the fate and see what happens. How do you win your Sleeper Prize League? Only joined last week. Get the most predictions right over the course of a month, and you'll be in for some prizes. That's how you win. If you just play every week, then that helps a lot. Would you make any changes to FPL to make captaincy more interesting? I don't know. Maybe more points for vice captains or something. You know, like maybe 1.5 times points for vice captains rounded down. Ruben says Isak is out. Thank you, Ruben. I'm glad. Thank you for that information. I'm very glad to have that, because Eddie Howe wasn't giving me straight answers, so it's good to have someone who definitively knows in the chat that Isak is 100% out. It's good to have that. Morgan Rogers captain? Definitely not. You missed the deadline anyway, DJ. But if you did captain Rogers, I think you've lost your I think you lost your mind. I think you're gone crazy. Right, we're gonna get lineups in a second, guys. So let's go to the Premier League. What about away goals with more points than home goals? Nah, I don't think so. Can we use the assistant manager and triple captain chip at the same time? No. So as soon as you activate the assistant manager chip, you cannot use any other chips for 3 game weeks, including the game week in which you activate the chip. Hope Trent is playing. Me too, brother. Me too. Do you think Marlon would be a good signing for Villa? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I quite like it. I do quite like it. Fellow Arsenal supporter, any words on Arsenal? Are we keeping the negativity out of this stream? I mean, it's just been a depressing week to be an Arsenal fan, really. It's just been depressing. So I guess we keep the negativity out. Penalty should only be worth 3 points. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. Isak hasn't travelled to the Molineux, confirmed. I can also confirm that, considering the game is being played at St James's Park tomorrow. So if he's at the Molineux today, I would be more concerned. Far more concerned. Right, come on, show us some team news. I know we're slightly early. So who is it who plays the 7:30s? It's Man City versus Brentford, and West Ham Fulham, and Chelsea Bournemouth. And then Liverpool play half an hour later. So we're not going to get the Liverpool team news for another half an hour. So I'm not going to stay on for that, I don't think, because I haven't... When I say I haven't eaten today, I mean that literally. I need to eat something. I've been bad. I've been so bad this week. I'm not looking after myself. Right, come on then. Maybe we need to manually go to each team. Man City. There you go. Ortega Moreno, Nunez, Akanji, Ake, Gvardiol, Kovacic, De Bruyne, Bernardo, Savinho, Foden, Haaland. I better actually check my sleeper team, actually. So we got Savinho and Foden. Class. Oh, FPL tweeting stuff out now? Yeah. Cool. We can keep refreshing then. Right, then we've got Brentford, Flecken, Rorslev, Collins, Vandenberg, Lewis Potter, Norgard, Janel, Jensen, Damsgaard, and Burmo Wisser. Okie dokie. Henry on the bench. Sharda also on the bench. Cool. For Bournemouth, we see Travers in goal. House and Kirkes. Hill Zabani. Is that Semenyo central striker? Probably. Pretty defensive lineup, all things considered. Yeah, pretty defensive. Oh, look at that bench as well. Kluivert's on the bench. Jefferson's on the bench. Interesting. And then for Chelsea, Sanchez, Caicedo, Acheampong, Colwill, Cucurella, Labia, Enzo, Madueke, Palmer, Sancho, Jackson. Ooh. Madueke in the team. No Neto. All right, interesting. What else we got? Is that it? We got more teams. Right, Fulham, Leno, Castagna, Anderson, Bassi, Robinson, back to a back four by the looks of things. Smith Rowe's back in the team. Iwobi, Raul Jimenez up front. Nice. And for West Ham, Fabianski, Wan-Bissaka, Mavropanos, Kilman, Emerson, Alvarez, Rodriguez, Soucek, Soler, Kudus, Paketa. Who on earth is playing up front? Is it Soucek striker or something crazy like that? Huh. I don't know. All right, so, okay, I think I'm good for my draft team. Always be checking the draft team to see if you need to make any last-minute transfers. And I think we're good. Yeah. Yeah, we are good. All right. Okay. Kudu striker. It's interesting. It's interesting. Who's your most likely manager pick as of now? Probably Oli Glasner. But it's too early to say for sure. Borlak says, am I nuts for captaining Bruno? Nope. Nope. You're not nuts at all. I think that's pretty sensible. Nicole says, wow, no Bowen. Yeah, Bowen's out until like February. He's out for a few more weeks. But I think we are pretty much ready to wrap things up now, guys. So yeah, appreciate you guys joining me on the stream today. What is the most crazy thing is that we've had 8,590 votes on the poll today, which I think is a record for the most active poll ever on the FPL Mate channel. Surely. I can't think of a time we've had more votes than that. That's crazy. So yeah, appreciate you guys joining me today. If you wouldn't mind dropping a like on the stream before you go, subscribe if you haven't done already, and we will be back tomorrow for Buy, Sell, Keep, Avoid. Looking forward to it. The content grind is not stopping anytime soon. Straight in with the Game Week 22 content as of tomorrow. There will be a Stick to FPL podcast. That will come out on Friday for Game Week 22. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the stream, guys. Good luck for your FPL team this week. It's particularly Isaac captainers. I'm wishing you the best of all of the lucks. You have the best luck of anyone. Really, I hope you guys do well. But yes, guys, thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow for Buy, Sell, Keep, and Avoid. See you later, mates. Bye-bye.